I've built a mobile starter base, and now it's time to get it moving. But there's one problem. We don't really have any railways on the server yet. And unfortunately, I've got another problem. I cannot build train tracks without detailing everything around them. Last year, I spent way too many hours placing blocks underneath and around tracks. So this year, I want to speed that process up by building a train that details for me. Welcome back to Just Create. And I've actually been a little smart already, as the texture I want to do under tracks is this, just like I have in front of my base. And this is actually inspired by Asu's texturing over by his area right over there. So last week I went and had a chat with him. And since then I built this entire mountain and well, I think Asu's done a train workshop. Oh my god, that looks great. But before we meet up with Asu, I want to make sure the idea I have in my head actually works. Where we're definitely going to have to use rollers, and there is a mod called Create Shuffle Filter that we've added. And with the weighted shuffle filter from that pack, we can set this to have, say, 40% rooted dirt and 60% coarse dirt. And if a deployer were to place this, or a roller, it's going to give us these ratios. So we'll have to set up some of these, but first let's get a quick roller train built up. Now, before doing anything, I just have to wait a second. I might have just accidentally discovered something. Oh, so that, ooh, I actually did that completely by accident, but I was worried that we were going to have our rollers on different spaces. So we'd have, say, a system that looked something like this. As if you have rollers in a row and you place in one block, they're going to place in all of them. But if we can just do different types of rollers, that's going to make this a whole lot easier. So let's start with that in the middle. Then those two are going to be the same. Those two are going to be the same. And that's 5 wide. I think we're going to have to go 7 wide. And let's grab all of the different blocks that we're going to want to use. We want to use brown concrete, brown wool, brown concrete powder, then coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and throw in some grass. So following that sort of idea, where I think for our first one, we're going to have mostly brown concrete right in the middle, and we're going to throw in about 25% wool, where I'm just going to continue creating these filters, and I'll put the percentages in the description in case you want to make this same machine. Where if my assumption is correct, we can place that in that one, those, have that one, and that one. Perfect. Let's get all of our blocks and we put those in the creative crates for now. Oh, and glue, obviously. Place that. And let's just make a little bit of a track to actually try this on. And we'll just go. So only the middle 3 work. Oh, since it's already grass, it counted as already being done. Oh, that's actually very annoying. But actually a pretty easy fix thinking about it. That will actually mean that we have to automate one thing less. We disassemble this and we take our outer filters and we, instead of the grass, we have regular dirt. It does mean that it's not going to be grass from the instant, but it does mean that everything is going to get paved at least. And it does mean that we don't have to automate grass, which isn't something hard to automate once we have dirt, but it is an extra machine to add. So if we do that instead, that's gonna start paving everything. Okay, good. So that's working a whole lot better. And well, we might have to play around with the amounts just a little bit. Because if we now do /game rule random tick speed and we set that really high, that's actually not looking too bad. But like I said, we're probably going to be playing around with the numbers a little bit to get it perfect. And an additional thing that we're going to have a problem with, I think, is concrete powder, because most of our train tracks are definitely going to be floating. So I do think we have to add an additional row of rollers in front of the blocks that also will place concrete powder that can place a layer of stone 1 block down. But we probably want something without slabs then, but that's also easy to automate. Interesting. I actually have no idea what we could use for that. And well, we don't need those on the most outer blocks. We also don't need them in the middle blocks. We only really need them there. We don't want to waste too many resources. What block could I use that doesn't have slabs? This has me stumped. Oh well, let's get back onto the server. Hello?
Hello, Stan. I was waiting for you.
That's not ominous at all. But hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So I just built this little workshop to have some space building up trains, and also there is another secret farm in that, which I'm going
Ooh.
to show you. A little locomotive factory for all the colors. So you can actually find all 16 colors here, and once we have infinite amount of iron supported to the factory, which is the next door, then we will actually have an infinite amount of locometal and locometal in any colors.
Where is the iron being supplied?
Oh yeah, so the iron is being supplied on the top because I think that's the easiest like
What?
to reach.
Oh, okay.
Here, this
Oh.
barrel is basically.
Just stick it out the back. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I could hook up my iron farm to this.
Oh, that would be great.
Well, we do need to automate some more things. The loco metal's great, but I wasn't really planning on placing loco metal underneath the train tracks. So we need brown wool, concrete powder, brown, obviously.
Coarse dirt.
Coarse dirt, and rooted dirt, right?
Yeah, and another thing is I was thinking about, because Chosen just made his own dirt farm, we could just probably have a little agreement with him supplying us with infinite amount of dirt, so we are basically providing the texture, the ground texture for his future train tracks.
All right, but yeah, we should go have a chat with him about that then. How do you want to divide it up? I kind of want to build a concrete farm.
All right, that sounds good. I can make the brown wool, and I can make
I'll make the concrete and the gravel for the coarse dirt.
okay.
And you
And I'll
get
make
the
the rooted
roots.
dirt.
Continued chatting with Asu, and we decided we build a factory together right here next to the workshop. Before we do any building on our factory, though, automating those items, we need to fix up this, because I'm pretty sure Asu wants to sell the loco metals, at least to some degree. And, well, the only issue is he doesn't have an iron farm, and I do. So he built this farm, and he's asked me to hook it up to iron. So let's get a few more of the pylons built up to support the chain conveyors running over to the workshop, where I've got a little frogport set up over here, and we're just going to be monitoring for iron, and we're going to be sending that to Stasu Iron with 27 stacks, trying to be in this barrel. And I would imagine, and I have to set up something similar to what I did over at Spot, where I chunked loaded everything. There we go. Now we should be supplying iron here pretty easily. I do not exactly know how Azu has this system set up, though. Yeah, this isn't great, I don't think. No, I mean, Azu's great at building factories, but this isn't really going to control the amount we get, if any. And we're going to need a lot more slashed than anything else, that's for sure. Oh, well, it's his farm, not mine. So let's maybe start working on what actually is going to be my farm, which means we need to go get a bunch of blocks. To kick off material gathering, I need a tiny bit more moss than I have. Then need to run past the andesite factory and stock up on that, as well as trade a bit with the villagers, as I need a bunch of bricks, which I don't have. Then leaving spawn for the next few resources, as I need to fly out to the nearby coral reef and gather up a bunch of different dead corals, along with grabbing some clay on the way back, as I need a tiny bit of terracotta. Back home, I need to get my hands on warpwood, where I just somehow found some of Rofos Lilium in my inventory to do just that. Running past the community workshop for some copper oxidation and waxing, before flying over to the Stasu workshop and grabbing some light gray locometal, which together with a bunch of crafting leads to this entire diamond backpack nearly filled up with blocks. And yeah, that's not even any create components or any of the interior bits, as I think it's time to get a toolbox contraption set up. But first, I want to get to some building, which actually starts with digging, as my plan for the storage section of this factory, which will be in the lower section, is to be sitting inside of the hill of the mountain with the productions above, where I left a few stone bits here at the base, as I'd like to continue as foundation a little bit to create a foundation for us. Where my actual plan for this is fairly simple, with, like I mentioned, the storage room on a bottom floor, moving into a little control room for the production, before a rather simple factory design above. To the right side with my factory, and then Azu will tackle the left, where I brought in a little start of a foundation for the actual building as well, with some tough bricks here. And the first thing I just want to do is get the entrances built up, where I have just remembered the beautiful existence of these industrial iron trap doors, which I absolutely love, and I will now be using everywhere, where we're topping this off with just a little bit of a deep slate around this, starting to extend up some walls using the dead coral I gathered earlier alongside some tough and mossy cobblestone. To start the second floor, I want to move out a block, bringing in some spruce trapdoors and slabs, where I'm really just trying to get through this part of the build to get to the actual factory, bringing up some whitewashed walls, utilizing some cut diorite and light gray concrete powder to texture the diorite, before moving up and throwing on a blue roof to hopefully give some contrast to the factory above, which I'm planning to use a bunch of brick for, where the blue and the red should go really nicely together. And I've also built up a staircase leading all the way up into the control room and even up to the eventual factory, where we do just have to bring in some actual windows here, where I'm just thinking we use some weathered ones, maybe even having an open one, because Aster's been doing that a lot and that just adds a little bit of difference there, and I do think I'm gonna enjoy that. We're running through this trapdoor where it looks very unfinished up here. This is where my factories are going to go, and I'm also going to expand that out just a little bit on this side, because I need to automate cocoa beans, and I've actually never automated cocoa beans, so that should be pretty exciting. To start this upper floor, let's get a bit of a floor to start with. What? To start this upper floor here, I just want to create a little bit of a border around the staircase itself before we can utilize a bunch of cobblestone and andesite just to create a floor for ourselves. From this platform, extending up a few pillars of weathered iron blocks to shape out the build, where I think this is going to be enough space. I don't have too many things to automate, but I'm going to leave the main structure a little bit, as I want to work on this little outcropping, as that has me a little more inspired at the moment. Where this is where we're going to use that a little bit of terracotta I got and some of that riveted local metal, as if we just bring up a little bit of a clay there for a highlight, and then this light gray riveted local metal actually has a very blue undertone to it, so I was thinking this could go pretty nicely with our terracotta and our clay. This is a very hard block to use in vanilla, as there aren't really that many cool blue colors in the game, but I do think that works pretty well. Where above this we can just throw in a little trim of some polished tuff, and for the floor in that, some regular tuff. Then I've got a bunch of industrial iron catwalks and some brass catwalk railing. The brass is going to be mainly for just a little bit of a pop of color. I have seen Asu's plans on the other side, and it definitely has me wanting to add a bit more shapes to my builds. But for now, we can just bring these in, put some chiseled weathered copper there, or exposed actually. Same with that just above, and then we can use some fluid pipes to connect these up and into the building. And I've got to go get some more copper, but I'll do that in a little bit. As just some fluid tanks here on the outside, where obviously that's going to go right into the wall, and we can have a little door right here to get out here. Maybe we can even bring in some part of the production down the line. We'll see about that though, because I have no idea really how we're gonna do that. Brought in a little bit of coarse dirt and brown concrete powder on the floor there, and then I'm thinking we can bring in a little garage door. We can just bring that in, and then we can get a couple of observers in between these. I really like this block as a garage door siding. Outside looking just a little bit flat here though, so we can just bring that in. Ooh, and some industrial iron supports here just on the end. Don't think it really works over on this side, but it does add in just that little bit of extra support over here. Focusing back on the main structure now, I want to build up the walls with that brick I mentioned earlier. To bring in even more red notes in it, I'm adding in some mangrove discoloration, as well as weathered copper for some more blue hints on the windows. We're up here. I just want to bring in a little bit of copper and just extend this across to create a little bit of a border, where I want to bring out some brown concrete, wool, and concrete powder, which we can use to just texture a little bit of a brown area at the top of this build, as I wanted something different, but also something pretty simple, where I think this copper divider here really helps that. I replicated that on the opposite side, and I'm now extending in a simple roof across this with mostly deep state, throwing in some tuff and utilizing some polished variants as a bit of detailing. Moving down and using that exact same block palette to also create the roof on this lower segment. Also brought this little awning out over here, and I have left this gap in the front where I want to bring in a large girder, which connects out to some of these, and then this coming out. I did try to portray this in my sketch earlier, but I didn't really do a great job with that. Having one of those right there on the end, and I think I'm just going to leave that to ask you to figure out a sign or something. There are some gaps up in the roof and the copper up there, and I have brought in a little platform where I just want to bring out some chimneys here on the back, where we can just start stretching these up, transitioning into andesite, throwing in some girders between them. That one can round off there, and we'll extend that one another 2 blocks, where I've got some smokestacks and even more of those industrial iron trap doors that I'm a big fan of, which we're not going to have that on top. We're going to just have that on all of the sides. And I do actually think I have some gray dye on me, as I just like to lighten this up just a tiny smudge. Hopping on down from that, that's looking pretty good, which actually completes up the main parts of the factory. Oh, except this wall, which I think I'm just gonna leave out for now, and then I'm gonna build that up and texture that as soon as Asu gets his side built up. Ooh, actually, there's one more thing here. I do still need to go get the copper for the pipes up there, but I do also want to bring in some pipes here on the back side, which I think can just come down something like that with some industrial iron, or weathered iron. Maybe one out here on the front, and maybe one just connecting the two down in the middle. And actually this corner over here is just missing a little bit of red, so let's add in 2 of our signs right there. Right, but with that in, time for some create, and I think it's time for us to build our toolbox truck. So let's get back to the train cars and put together a bunch of blocks for our toolbox contraption, which wasn't all too many. This here is just what we need. Just gonna get that place down, where in the essence of saving time, we throw this into the schematic cannon. And since I've been on a real train theme this season, I figured my toolbox contraption should also be a train cart. Just need some copycat layers to go right underneath here, as otherwise the train carts themselves, they're floating. And I think we can just bring in a little bit of weathered iron into these as a small little bit of a support for the wheels to stand on, because I recently learned that train wheels can be picked up on a contraption, and I am very, very excited about it. Basically, what we're going to be setting up eventually, once we have everything automated, which I don't yet, we're going to have a packager facing into every single toolbox, which sits here. And if I can get on up here, we're going to have a frog port on top of that, and that's going to be sitting in a sort of toolbox, tool cart, workshop, whatever we make in the future. And we're going to have some factory gauges on here to restock what is in the toolboxes, and I think that's gonna be a really, really cool system. And it also gives me some exact things to automate, which is gonna be great, because I can't spend all my diamonds at Chosen's this season. It just I just can't do it. This card has a few more features, such as a little bedroom / workshop, but since I don't have any components automated, let's get this picked up and head over to Chosen. If I just click this, that didn't work. I managed to do it before. There we go. Why are you still there? Well, I got my train up on the roof, and I have just spent the last 40 minutes trying to figure out, together with my stream, which you should go check out over on Twitch, what we're going to actually put inside of everything. And now I need to buy a lot of items. This is too many items. I'm not gonna be able to hold this in a good way. It's still raining. Well, we gotta go quick. We gotta go quick. I didn't think about this. Uh-oh. And none of this is organized. I need to go grab a backpack. Hold up. I have a backpack. I should go grab it. Should have thought about this. Okay, it was only another inventory. Okay, good. Where after that little panic solved and actually sorting through everything, I have my 8 toolboxes, where we got our fluid management, we got our processing, we have our smart logistics, our item routing, we have our contraption things, we have our SU routing, casing, and our MISC, which is very empty at the moment. And I'm also missing a few other things in some of them, as Chosen did not sell absolutely everything. Oh, and here is the spreadsheet I used to figure all of this out, if you want to pause and use them yourself. Well, returning back to the project now with our brand new create components. Is this... it's not a roof like that. I want to place this somewhere where it's not really in the way, but also easily accessible. Oh, actually, considering we don't have anything over here, we can just dig away a couple more blocks. I'm sure Azu would not mind. We can bring that in right next to the project site, and we can hop in and sleep whenever needed, as well as accessing all of our toolboxes. Where before we get started, let's just remind ourselves on what we need to automate. Our main outputs will be coarse dirt, both brown concrete powder and regular concrete. However, before these, we need to get gravel, sand, brown dye, and a source of dirt sorted. I think we should tackle dirt first, so let's go get Asu and go meet up with Chosen.
Oh,
I don't really want to know.
What? I'm sorry, don't mind me.
We're actually here to talk about the dirt farm.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
So Asu has built a workshop down over there. And we're about to do some automation to get the blocks that we're going to place underneath train tracks fully automated. And we need dirt for most of those blocks. We need rooted dirt. We got coarse dirt. We'll probably make the automation for those ourselves. But we need the raw input of dirt because dirt machines
like this?
feel scary.
Like this?
Yeah, like that kind of
this?
dirt.
Like what's in this?
Yes, like the dirt that's in that. Exactly like
Okay.
that. And we were thinking we're going to be building a train and we're going to be leasing this train out to people to automatically detail the underside of their train tracks. And we wanted to strike a deal, perhaps, where we could get dirt, and in turn you can use the train to pave underneath train tracks whatever you want.
Ooh, I like that.
And the resources that we actually, because we're going to be automating some brown wool, concrete, and concrete powder.
Yes.
And maybe
Sounds
even
good.
other textures in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can
Expand the
manually
business.
add things. Yeah.
Sounds
Yes.
good to me.
Oh yeah, we don't have to automate dirt.
Yes.
We were
I
saying
hope
we were.
if this stays consistent and doesn't break like it did last night, then yeah, it's gonna be fine. Anyways,
Chosen. What do you want for a compensation? Like, I heard that you are
As
trying to
we've
set
already
up...
agreed to borrow the trade. Oh my god. I talked about. Wait, hold up. I gotta talk to my business partner behind it. Asu. He's already agreed to just borrowing the train. We don't have to make it more expensive for us.
Yeah, I know, but if that's enough for him, then...
He said it was enough.
Yeah.
We don't have to entice him with more. I don't have more to give.
Oh, okay.
Not that he
And-
could want. He
yeah.
has everything in the world, to be fair.
Yeah, he has infinite amounts, so he's not gonna miss them, right?
No, and then he has a machine.
you do have to fight with Dave over some of these resources. Actually, you got to fight with everybody over these resources. To be fair,
Well,
It'd be fine. It'd be
First-
fine. I'm happy to fight Froggy.
Let's hope that it generates. Yeah, let's hope that it works.
Let's hope that works.
I'm relying on it to work.
Oh! It's a sign.
yeah, that's a sign. I made that sign.
Stasu Workshop. Looks great.
Yeah, limited.
Limited. Yes, limited. Very important, very important. Dirt deal struck. Let's start working on our dye production. Where my vision is, we're going to have a belt that is running into the farm here, which is going to be carrying our cocoa beans. And then all around here on the outside, we're going to have a couple of our logs. I mean, we could start with 5 and even have them a bit at very varying heights. Where that looks a little weird, but I think it's all right. Now to the cocoa beans themselves, we're obviously just gonna have these on all of the sides here, as many as possible, because the more the merrier. My plan is we punch out the 4 blocks around this, and instead of having a spinning mechanism, I'm still learning the colors of this, where I need a green one, as I need a bunch of harvesters, where, like I said, instead of having a spinning mechanisms, we have a bunch of harvesters that sit here underground. Now, hopefully there's something with copycats we could use. I mean, some vertical stairs is definitely an option. Yeah, that's definitely all right. Sort of like a rotating saw. Obviously, it's not rotating, but it looks like one. That's sort of stripping off the bark. And we can even just encase all of these as well. Oh, right. I love that encase mod. That's amazing. And then we need to fit a shipping container. And the way we're going to actually have this harvest everything is going to be through a mechanical piston and an extension pole, which I think just has to sit under or something like this. This, however, would require us to break one more block. Oh, when it returns, it's gonna be placing the piston pole. So that is something to think about. Oh, only placing starting position. Never mind that. If it's only placing in the starting position, what if we try to be a little cheeky and we hide this in the middle? Although then we can't access it, can we? Right. Smart. What if we hide it one block down in the middle? Yeah, as I wanted to get that up to that belt just for the detailing purpose, I'm thinking we just do a depot with a funnel on the side, and then we can use a mechanical arm to grab from that and put it up to the belt. Maybe just adding in like a copycat layer or something here in the middle to combine all of this now. And just using a hand crank that is set to only place in starting position. Are any of these grown? One is grown. Oh, we need the actual extension pole as well, which actually has to be pretty long. Spinning this though, it did not pick up the items, right? Why did it not pick up the items? Oh, right. That's why I did pick up the items. Okay, rethought this a little bit, as I kind of forgot how piston extenders work. And, well, they can't actually go through any blocks, so we can't have it in the middle. And I have replaced the 4 corners with some ghost blocks, where we could probably use ghost blocks here as well. We'll see about that, Joe. Now, however, we should be able to get this coming up, harvesting anything that is ready to harvest. Okay, that breaks that 1 ghost block. Okay, that's fine. And that's it. 1 block above. Perfect. And then that can come on back down into the ground afterwards. With a design that at least hopefully works, let's get this built up around the other jungle logs as well. Just refilling some of my rockets and crafted a couple of pulse timers. Where?
Oh, this is kind of awkward.
That's a giant billboard on my mountain for the 2nd time.
Well, I kind of need to advertise the burger shop, and yeah, I mean, you don't mind, do you?
I mean, if you were to give me some burgers, I've been eating bread for the past 2 weeks. Stale old, not even bread baron bread, just bread.
I thought that the mountain was for like advertising purposes, and that's why you spent 12 hours building it.
More like 20, but also no.
I mean,
it's what? This is prime real estate. This is seen from everywhere. This is
not right now. Have you seen the weather?
No, the weather right now is pretty bad. It got pretty gloomy. But
you know what?
Ooh.
Okay, now I'm scared. Sky sleeping.
Sky sleeping. If you're at the highest point now, you're gonna be struck by lightning.
yeah.
Imagine.
Right, listen.
Yeah.
Let's work out a deal here. Look, I need to advertise the burger shop, right?
Yeah.
There's not really much going on over at the shopping district yet. I kind of figured
I
build
get
this,
that.
people head over there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a couple stacks of burgers. And how about this?
Ooh.
How about some of those as well?
Ooh, some tool repairing on the go.
Yeah, but listen, if anyone else decides to advertise on the mountain,
Take him down.
take him down. Take him down.
All right.
I'll say,
All right.
plenty more burgers where they came from.
All right. I hear you. All right, let's throw all of these stacks of bread away now.
Yeah. Throw it away. I want to watch it. Try my burgers. Tell me they taste nice.
Yeah, you gotta hit me a few times or once. Once is enough. Once is enough with that one.
Okay.
Oh, wow, they taste so nice, and it wasn't just because I was on fire from your
They're
sword.
nicer
Yeah,
than froggies, right?
Yeah. Oh, way nicer.
Yeah. Good. All right, well, just remember our little deal.
All right. Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna get back to my cocoa bean farming.
Sounds thrilling.
Yes,
Bye.
it is. Bye. Okay, not a lot of figuring things out down here, and I've got some sequence gear shifts now set up on either side, and I'm hoping by just deactivating that, I overstress everything. Right, well, let's just disconnect then, I guess. Oh, so this one's supposed to be like 21 with 1 water wheel, I guess. And we give that a second try. That should now go up, break all the cocoa beans, wait a little bit at the top, shorten that timer just a little bit, I think, there. And then it comes down, back down. Perfect. I think that was a pretty good speed, actually. You can just remove that weight a little bit, and then that one finishes. We add that in. We grab the cocoa beans here, and we can get those. Oh, it starts up again. Oh, perfect. Is that... I mean, the other side also works. Oh. I think I glued something wrong. That goes up. Then that's going to come down again. The only thing I'm worried about now is this sending a second pulse before that first one is done. It doesn't. It's actually a little bit after. That's fine. I think we can push this one to be a minute, though. I think that's fine. Okay. Cool. Just that small little problem that this was bringing up the entire side. I'm assuming... Yeah, I accidentally glued it all. Oopsies. Oh, wait, I have an idea. I'm not able really to reach the top, but... Oh, yeah, we're planting in style. Oh, boy. Up. Perfect. Okay, well, we got this system down. Obviously, power is still a need, but I kind of really want to use this outside patio that we've got up here. So I'm thinking if we use a basin and just a mixer... Wait. A second. I haven't even looked at this. That is how we could make brown... No, it's not. Oh, we need a millstone. Right, that's how we need to do that. Oh, I mean, that could still work. It just maybe not look as cool. Right, instead if we get a millstone up on a little pedestal up here, and then we can have a little hole in the wall. where a belt runs in to get the brown dye into the building. Although ideally we just send this straight into a vault, which maybe just sticks out a little bit here on the side. Ooh, wait, I'm liking this idea. That can be accessible from the inside, and that looks a little more interesting on the outside. Oh, wait, they're not gonna be able to be that close to each other, are they? Just move this off to the side one block up here, and we'll just have that shoot diagonally up into the millstone. That runs over into the vault. Perfect. Just run and grab a few colored vaults here, and if we turn these into our vertical, I'm thinking we get a setup here along the back. Been racking my head a bit at this, but if we get these the vaults, we'll have our dirt come in right here, and I think we're just gonna fill that up, and then we can have our gravel in the middle, and we can have our sand right on the far end, where I do really love having vertical vaults. That's so nice. That will hook up to Chosen's farm, and then we gotta automate these two, which I think we can do with a simple little production line just like this. Oh, well, that doesn't quite work, does it? I was trying to be a little compact here. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. That's our sand line, and that's our gravel line. And wait, one sec. I did just think making sand also does make flint and clay, which I don't really care to keep. So I think what we could do is if we just burn excess here and ouch, don't burn me. And then we filter this guy to sand. Got to detail that a little bit, but also have a rotational speed control there now to control the flow of cobblestone, which is definitely going to be necessary. Just because I don't want to be making too much cobblestone because that is a very, very SU heavy machine. And that should be all of our ingredients. Now we just need to combine everything. Yeah, this is my cocoa bean farm.
Oh, nice shaft.
Lovely shaft.
Thanks, Buckdown. Yeah. Thanks. Right, racking my head once again where to go next from this, and I have decided that factory areas aren't going to be the move, as with those we can only automate 100, and I think 6400 blocks is going to be a little too low if we're doing really large train tracks. Instead, I'm thinking we set up a few vaults here at the bottom, which will hold 30,000 blocks. Although this does have to fit Asu's stuff as well. And he's automating how many blocks? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So we need 6 vaults. Okay, that's 3. That is 4, 5, and 6. And then there's a little bit of space to get past there. Okay, that's pretty good. We can get these just extended out maybe 3 blocks out of the wall for now. Okay, that is good. And then we just need to lead things down from up here for the things that we automate, that is. Where I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here thinking and trying to figure out how to do this final step the best way. Where this might not be the prettiest of things, but it should automate the 3 blocks that I need to automate. This should automate concrete powder. This, oh wait, I don't have a fan for this yet. That should automate our concrete. Then we have some concrete powder going down into storage. And then we have the coarse dirt here, which is just a simple, I say, crafter setup. And that should work. We just need to hook up the dirt and hook everything up to power. Running back home to the cavern, I grabbed our drill, so that I can clear this space out and get to underground windmills built up to power the farms. Where we've got power up here now. And, well, we should be making gravel. Yep, it's just going straight in there. And are these filled up? Perfect. They are, so that's working. And sand should start to be stocked up. It is. Okay, that's great. And we just got to power this up. And we've got to power the things here on the outside up. Got to make sure that this fan is blowing air upwards. Perfect. And then we just have to power the belt, which I do think I'm going to do over here. Just a few more cogs. Probably not the most laggy, efficient way, but it's fine. It is fine. At least it's going to work. Yeah. At least it's going to work. That there should fill up that belt, which should in turn get items moving into this millstone, which isn't spinning at the moment either. Where do we have power on the inside here? Probably just gonna be running it from that. I'm probably gonna do this first of all, and then we can run a chain drive. Get that encased, and we are making brown dye, which should go down into there, which means we should be making brown concrete powder. In turn, there should be some on there, and also if I just get myself down here, if you do that one there, that pumps in or out. Well, it's washing them, so it works. Okay, that's the brown concrete powder. And we should also be getting a little bit of regular concrete. Concrete is definitely the block we need the least of, so that's fine that I think that it's slow. And why are those two in the same? Why is there 1,000 brown concrete powder in here? I think there's something funny up with the shipping containers and them being this close together. Oh yeah, because this one, oh, so are these? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll fix it later if so. I don't even understand it. Right, we gotta get this up and we gotta get the dirt up. Right. Let's just hook this up to power first though. I mean, it looks a little weird. Maybe I can figure out a cleaner way to do that, but for now, that works. Although I don't have the dirt, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Filling up with gravel, filling up with sand though, that's amazing. That is going at all times and is actually working really, really well. And is actually, in fact, broken. Nope, it's not. Okay, never mind. I lied. I'm gonna be quiet now. As for now, I want to build up a couple more of our chain conveyor pylons running all the way over to Chosen's area. Done a bit of connecting, and yep, that's definitely packages arriving. Tons of them as well. Oh boy. Hopefully Chosen understood what we meant by grabbing dirt. This is pretty quickly gonna fill up this vault, hopefully. Well, with 100 stacks. And 100 stacks is what it actually just requested. So yeah, 100 stacks is on its way. And then it's going to request more because, yep, it's making coarse dirt. Perfect. Still a bunch of detailing to do, even though everything works now. And, oh, this is a very uncreated component. Asu?
I have something for you.
Oh, is that a
Look.
train? Oh.
Yeah, this beauty is finally done. I mean, it's not beauty, but that's the point of a mud laying train. Yeah.
Looks great. I love it.
It's a bit brown, so the camouflage is also pretty good, you know?
Yeah,
But,
it does blend in. Oh, wow, the factory as well.
Oh, my factory.
Yeah, it looks great. And it
Thank
combines
you.
nicely. I do like the pop-up orange in between the two. That's very nice. So with the factories mostly up and running and a locomotive, let's actually get the paving wagon built. And here we have it. Oh, I quite like this. It's sort of a mix between I don't really know. Think of that one paver in the Cars movie that Lightning McQueen runs. Sort of gives that vibe, at least for the front. And then the back is a little more conventional train cart. And currently, well, the inside is empty. And that is actually on purpose, as I have some resources in here. I need to craft a lot of toolboxes. And these, oh, they do stack. Because I need 42 of them, because we're using shuffle filters, we're gonna have resources being used up at different speeds, and well, we want to make sure that we can always have every single block available, so that's why we need to use these. And I actually did ask Azu for a suggestion for block to use underneath to get the concrete powder not falling, and we came up with chiseled stone bricks as the best solution for it. But inside of this is basically just going to be toolboxes. I'm going to fill all of these up, where we decided on having 6 toolboxes for each resource, which should be about 12,000 blocks. 1,000 years later. Okay, that's the final toolbox. That's the 42 toolboxes completely filtered. And now to the thing that I kind of forgot about when we were designing this. Oh, right. My toolbox card is not going to work as long as this is unassembled. I think starting here, if we just break, that's 3, 4. No, that is only 6 of them. Maybe make Azure a little mad. I did quite like that blast furnace, but that doesn't look too bad. We're actually, whenever I automate my own things, I'm just going to use industrial iron, I think, because it's so much easier to make than andesite casings. And you can make all the create components in this, and then more of the time, I'm probably going to be using the industrial iron rather than the andesite casings. And actually, I kind of like the fact that you can see that on top. Okay, just thinking loading wise here, where Aster did mention that he wants it up in this place, and well, with our 7 inputs, we're gonna have to figure this out, because it's yeah, it's pretty tight space. But if we can get some of these up, what I'm thinking is smart chutes right on top of all of these, and we'll fix out the details here in a bit. Then above that, we can have a what are we doing? Vaults? I mean, maybe I should get barrels, although 7 vertical vaults in my head should also work. And then we just need a packager on all of these. I mean, yeah, no, we're gonna need to get a frog port. I think that is the only logical way to do this. Yeah, I need to make it look a little prettier as well, because I've just punched a hole in Asu's building. I'm just gonna spend a little bit of time in here just cleaning up and making this work into Asu's build, where it's definitely not perfect. I don't think I can even get on the... Yeah, I can get on the outside, but it's a little outcropping and it looks better than it did before. I've also got all the frog ports in, and I've got factory gauges set up underneath that. And all that we have to do is get the chain conveyor set up in here, where there's already some packages waiting. If we just have that, and that. Run chain between these two. Oh, just powered it on. I can hear things. Packages? Packages. Coming through the wall. Going up, and that should start to fill up down below. Then originally I figured we would power the smart chutes, but we don't actually need to do that, as well, when we pull the train in, it could really go into any portable storage interface. It really does not matter. But that is our storage hooked up, and also dirt hooked up, as I hooked that up to the vault above, and there is now nearly half a vault filled, and I'm pretty sure me and Asu have pretty much, no, we have drained his dirt storage. Sorry, bud. Sorry. It's gonna fill back up, okay? It's gonna fill back up. Should we get the... I have finished the train, or the carts right over here. I was thinking we just extend the track and then we wrench the locomotive over. All right, okay, you get in, back it up. I'll let you know when you're in position. A little more. Little more. Okay, wait. Yeah. Oh, a little forward. Here, we're gonna want... Yeah, I think... Now go a little back again. Little more. Half a block more. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let me get the train station down. I think that block. Let's see how that lines. Yeah, I think that is good. Disassemble. And we need to make a few modifications on the back.
Oh,
Perfect.
look, and even every colors are matching. It's muddy.
It is very muddy. Makes sense though. And first thing we do, we deactivate. All right, you ready? It didn't deactivate. It didn't deactivate. It did the thing.
Yep.
I think we need a train controls on the back. So what if we just do this? We have a little seat back here, and one of us can sit and control the thing from back here. There we go. Nice. Someone can sit here and control that. And all right, let's give that another try. Are they off?
All right. Yes.
Aha, we can move now.
That's perfect. It looks really nice. Well, the only problem is that we don't have train tracks. So...
Well, yeah, but one problem at a time. I was thinking the train would pull through the station. It's probably going to hit a few things, but let's just not care about that and say the station looks good anyways.
I mean, it must pull through the station because the interfaces are here.
All right, you tell me when they all connect, okay?
All right. No. Yeah, maybe.
So I think I know what the problem is. It's not the distance. It's the fact that they're different types.
Oh, true. That's true.
Why does this not work then?
Huh?
I don't know. I don't really have the time to test this right now, so I guess it doesn't fully work, but hey, the rest works. I'll have a look in creative. We'll figure it out. It's fine, right? It's fine. At least we have everything automated. It should work. We'll figure out a shop how to release it in the future. Once we can actually test it as well, because when we have train tracks.
Exactly.
But hey, it's there. It works.
Yeah, it works.
Kind of, if we can load it.
We can definitely call it a successful mission, right?
Partly. Everything up to the actual thing we're trying to do is successful, at least. So that's something. All right, bye, Asu.
Bye, Stam.
Bye. So even though the paver currently doesn't work because we can't stock it, this project has turned out quite well. The combined factory is looking super cool, and while I definitely have some building tips to learn from Asu, as his site is just beautiful. And we'll have to sort out some leasing things once we actually know it fully works, which we should know soon, because I plan to build a giant railway off to my main base, as it's about time that I get started on something else, especially now with my mountain finished and, well, my starter base pretty much ready to go. Anyhow, those are all future plans. So as always, thank you to all of my supporters, and thank you to you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.